Welcome to Success from Scratch, your place for innovation, creativity, and the blueprint of success from peak performers just like you. Welcome to Success from Scratch. And today my guest is Maesha Montoya from our Austin market, actually based and working out of Fort Hood in Killeen, Texas. Welcome, Maesha.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me, Mark.
Well, I'm so excited to have you today. You know, and looking at your history and what you've done, it's so phenomenal. Starting nearly 8 years ago and doing 5 transactions in your first year, to this year doing a goal of 50, and you've already done 24, which is what you did last year.
Right.
So you're well on your way to your goal of 50 transactions this year in a pretty tough market.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations on your success. Let's break it down and talk about the amazing things of how you've achieved this.
Okay.
So before we do that, though, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background and what got you into real estate.
Okay. Well, I'm originally from Ohio, which is where I had my very first job at age 14 at Dairy Queen. And then I moved to New Mexico my sophomore year and stayed in food service, worked my way up to management there. And then at 19, got married and became an Army wife, moved to Texas, where I still am. And I worked different jobs here before having my 3 daughters, and I stayed home with them for 5 years before deciding on real estate. With real estate, I chose that because I really wanted to be with my girls and not miss out on their performances and award ceremonies and games and all of that. And I thought real estate would give me the freedom to make my own schedule, the freedom to decide my own level of income and success. And so that's why I started in real estate.
That's where you started, and that's where you went, and you've just made it happen. So the drive for that was really your daughters.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. We share a couple common things in our background. I started in food service. My first job in Colorado Springs is Wendy's, being the fry guy, and then got promoted to the side grill, and then promoted to the main grill. I remember when I got each of those promotions, it was like a big deal, particularly when I went to the main grill. That was like, you made it big time.
Yeah.
And then went on to college and through ROTC and served in the Army as well. So I know, thank you for your service, because our Army wives serve in a different capacity, but just as much as the soldier does as well. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. So tell us about this first year in real estate. You did 5 transactions. That probably was a tough year for you.
Yes, it was really tough. I didn't really know where to start, like most agents.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kept doing phone duty and open houses, anything I could think of. And I didn't quit. I knew if I don't make this happen, I'll have to go work for someone else, and I won't be able to do all the things that I want to do. So this has to work. So I just didn't stop.
So you were driven.
Yeah.
Now, that was the first year. Was there a time then where you had a breakthrough that, you went from that 5 to some other number that it started to feel like, okay, now this is really working?
Yeah, I went, a friend of mine recommended me to a team with a different brokerage, and I was a buyer's agent for 4 years with them,
Mm-hmm.
where I got a lot of experience. And then I just got to a point where I wanted things to be my own and more my business.
Mm-hmm.
So I found JP, which was totally different than anything else I had ever known. And I was the very first agent actually in the Fort Hood area to join JPAR. So that was scary too.
Right.
But I know you can't do the same thing over and over if you want different results. So
isn't that the definition of crazy?
Yeah.
Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result?
Right. And the real estate can feel like that.
Right. So you made a switch. You did something that's different, even though there was some fear. You pushed through that fear.
Yes, exactly. It was very scary, but I went with it. I trusted JP. I love his vision. I felt like he runs his business the way that I want to. So I kind of felt at home with JP Associates. And
is that what helped you? Was it the vision that helped you move through your fear, or was it something else?
I mean, it's always ultimately my kids. And I put I put one of my favorite quotes next to my computer. I kept looking at it, that faith is taking the first step even when you can't see the whole staircase.
Oh,
So I kept looking at that every day and just taking that first step.
Tell us that quote again.
Faith is taking the first step even when you can't see the whole staircase.
So that's Martin Luther King
Jr. Yes.
Jr. quote, which I love because, myself working with successful agents all over the world and those that are trying to have some success, I can see that, you took the step even though you couldn't see the full staircase. And so many of us get paralyzed because we want to analyze and paralysis by analysis to see the whole staircase.
Yes.
You took a step of action.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah. Good. Love that. So let's fast forward. So last year you served 24 families, helped them buy or sell a home. You've already exceeded that number this year, and we're only halfway through the year. So you're well on your way to your goal of 50. What's your secret to keeping all of that on track? How did you basically double your business?
Well, it is, I changed everything. I stopped paying for leads, which that doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
But I really want my business to be based on referrals.
Right.
So I've spent even more time out in my community and really just trying to keep in contact with my past clients better. I really just want it to be referral, and it's working really good.
Yeah. Sounds like you're kind of following the circle, the Gary Keller $1 Million Real Estate Circle, where you move people into the circle of your inner circle.
Right.
Type of a system.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, tell us a few things about either your daily routine, your morning routine, some habits of success that have served you well.
Well, again, with just the to-do list, and then making my goal, having the written goal and actually keeping track of it. I've always had different goals, but I've never really kept track. So I have my big board in my office, and every transaction I'm marking it up. So I'm now at 26 for the year so far, and which is our cap. Yay.
Okay.
So really, really keeping track of it is making me know where I'm at and where I need to be.
So writing it down, we know if it's not written down or in a schedule, it doesn't exist.
Right.
Having a clear, concise goal and having it what I call up and visual, like a scoreboard, so you know whether you're winning or losing.
Yes.
It's so funny. Saturday, I was like a kid. I was giddy. I did a Spartan race in AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
I saw that.
Right? Yeah. Oh, did you see those?
Yeah.
So they get you down on the field. I walk into the field, and they have the biggest scoreboard, a TV set like I've ever seen in my life. It's massive. It's got to be the biggest TV in the world.
Yes.
But up and visual, and you know immediately whether you're winning or losing. Right?
Yeah.
Up and visual, public, declare your goal. Love it. Love it. Love it. So here's the secret question. Is there anything that keeps you up at night that you're worried about, that you have doubt or fears on?
I don't really.
Good.
Yeah. No. Thankfully, at this time, no.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I've really enjoyed having you today. I know the audience is going to pick up some nuggets of gold from you. Any last words of wisdom to the audience before we wrap this episode up?
Oh, well, to agents, I would say just make sure that you are genuine, put your clients' needs above your own, and everything will really just fall into place, and work hard.
Yeah, putting the client's needs above your own. I call it, when we don't do that, we call it commission breath.
Yeah.
And people really pick up on that.
Definitely.
Google just did some research that shows the number one characteristic of why a consumer picks an agent. You know what the number one characteristic is?
What's that?
Trust.
Yes.
Trust. And so when you put the client's needs above your own, you're building trust and you're building credibility. And
definitely.
There's two great books, The Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey and High Trust Selling by Todd Duncan, both that really help you develop the skill of conveying trust in the transaction, which Google has shown and proven through the research is one of the number one factors consumers use to pick us as sales professionals in real estate.
Definitely, I believe that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you soon on an episode of Success from Scratch.